Hi guys, it's Christina from Redefine Creative, and I am super excited to be here with my very first design team project for Wild Whisper Designs. And so you will see a process video here on my channel every Thursday in February. So we are on like an every other month schedule. So I was off in January, I'm here in February, off on March, and then I'll be back in April. And my days are Thursdays, so you'll be able to see some Wild Whisper projects every Thursday in every other month. Okay, so this month for February, Wild Whisper Designs is releasing a mini kit, and it's called Classic Woodgrains. And it is absolutely gorgeous wood grain paper. So if you were like me and you find wood grains to be like super useful and something you can combine with all these other products that you already have in your stash, then this is the mini kit for you. And so what I decided to do is they have this wood grain that you can see there in the picture, and it's this really great like dark turquoise color. And so I decided I was going to use that as my background, and then I am pairing it up with this clouds cut file. And so this is going to cover up my entire background, the cut file basically. And I'm going to take some of the other Wild Whisper Designs products and fill in some of these clouds. So I've pulled out some older paper from the Out and About collection that they released, I believe, over the summer. And I'm using some of those pattern papers because the photo, which I showed just a second ago, is this really great kind of sunset picture from an airplane. And so it has all these really pretty reds and oranges and yellows in it. And so I wanted my clouds to kind of fit with those colors. So I just grabbed some of the paper that I have left from that particular collection, and then I also grabbed some of the 3x4 cards from that collection and from More Adventures, which just came out in January, and I've used those patterns to back some of my clouds. And then I went ahead and I trimmed just 1/4 of an inch off of the top and the sides of that background paper because I wanted to add a little thin black border around the outside to kind of ground everything and tie it together. Because I am going to use that 3x4 card that says it's a huge world, go explore. And so I want to have that on my page, so I needed a little bit more of a pop of black to kind of tie everything together. So I am going to also back my photo with a border, like a really thin cardstock border of black, just so that I have that element kind of carrying out throughout my layout. And you'll see when I start embellishing that that's going to carry through there as well. And I had this scrap of paper left over. And so I'm going to fussy cut one of these globes, and I fussy cut this bigger one, and then I decide that it's too big of a scale for the place where I want it on the layout. So I'm going to go back and actually fussy cut a second one here in a second that's going to be a little bit smaller because I just decided that the scale on this one is too big. So to back those clouds, I just went ahead and backed them with a little scrap from each one of those pattern papers that I wanted to do, and then I just cut around it to make sure it was only filling that one particular cloud. And I've taken about 5 different clouds on the layout and filled in just those clouds. So I know in the back of my mind that I'm going to put some dimensional adhesive behind this cut file to kind of make those clouds pop up off the page and look like they have some motion. So I know that that's already coming, and so I want to have just a few of those clouds filled in. It's a little bit too busy for me to go ahead and fill in all of those. Plus I want that gorgeous wood grain to show through as my background because that was, you know, a major beautiful detail that I was wanting to add to this particular page. So I also have from Wild Whisper, they always sell wood veneer that go along with the kit that they're releasing for that month, unless it's a mini kit. The mini kits don't necessarily have all those additions. So a few months ago, they had these little wood veneer airplanes, and so I am going to get 3 of those on my layout because I am trying to keep that like rule of thirds in mind here. And so I'm going to go ahead and work on kind of putting together this little cluster. So I've cut apart 2 3x4 cards, and I want those to be overlapping my photo. And then I'm trying to decide what else I'm going to kind of include. And I want to get a little piece of this stripe pattern paper in there. So I'm just going to take a scrap and kind of tuck it in on the side just to add a little bit more of that color that's going to tie everything together. So I'm being very aware of where I have my colors spaced out on my layout. I know that I have that darker kind of pinkish red up there in the top, and I'm going to need something to tie that color down into my embellishment cluster. So I'm thinking about that as I'm already working. I need to make sure that I'm getting those colors in. I have the orange I've kind of gotten in by using the top of that 3x4 card. So the little orange cloud and that travel 3x4 like label came off of the same 3x4 card. So I cut the bottom part of it off and used it to back the cloud. And then I'm using the top part of it as part of my title detail. And then I've got my little wood veneers on here. So things are starting to come together. I threw a tag in there behind my little cluster. So I'm starting to make sure and think in my head while I'm doing this, do I have everything balanced? Do I have my colors balanced? And that's when I'm thinking that I need to pull in some embellishments that are going to work to bring in that kind of pinkish color. And so I'm pulling out all of my puffy stickers, and you're going to see me spend a minute here flipping through them all. So I have 2 big bags where I keep basically all of my puffy stickers. And I just kind of flip through. So there you can see the little bags that I use, and they just came from the Container Store. But I'm such a huge puffy sticker fan. I use puffy stickers all the time that every time I get a collection, I typically take the puffy stickers out and stick them in one of these envelopes because I often will go and pull wanting my puffy stickers. And so I just kind of have them thrown in here. There's really no other organizational method to this other than throw them in these 2 bags. So I did find those old Heidi Swap puffy stickers in there. And they have these little tiny geotags on the bottom. So I'm thinking that I need one of those little black geotags. And then I'm also looking to see where I can get some of that pinkish color brought into my layout. And I'm okay if it's a little bit of a different shade as long as it brings in that pink element. So you're going to see here in a second that I grab my Illustrated Faith 1 in a Melon little heart, like enamel puffy stickers. And so those are going to go on this layout to kind of bring that pink element together. So I've got my little geotag here, and that's going to go up in my little embellishment cluster. And then I was just looking if I wanted another one to see if the scale was right to put it on that globe, but it's not. So that little globe is going to get a little pink heart instead, and I really like the look of adding that little pink heart on top of that fussy cut globe. I think it's cute. I like it. And so then I'm going to just make sure that I have my pink hearts here in 3s. So I'm going to have 1 by my title and then 2 in my embellishment clusters. And then I've also pulled out some plain black enamel dots, and those are just from Eyelet Outlet, I believe, is where I got those from. So I am going to add a few of those black enamel dots here in a second. And then I also grabbed these puffy stickers that have these little white, it's a white heart with black like pen detailing on it. It looks like it's hand drawn. And so I am going to add a couple of those on my layout as well. And I really like the look of adding a little heart inside a cloud. I'm not really sure why that's like such a big appeal for me, but I think it's really cute. And so a couple of my clouds are going to get those little hearts in them because I like it and I think it's cute. And so I'm just adding all of those little embellishments that are going to kind of add some interest and dimension here around my title element. I am keeping the rest of the page pretty simple because I do want my cut file and that really gorgeous background paper to kind of stand out as the secondary stars to my photo here. So that heavier weighted black element and then that black border around my photo help my photo area and my title to stand out. And then that gorgeous background paper is kind of like the secondary star of the show. And so I hope you enjoyed seeing my first project with Wild Whisper Designs. Definitely go check out the new Classic Woodgrains pack because it is amazing if you love wood grains as much as I do. See you soon. Bye.